Alright, so I have my drawing that I am basing this off of and my plexiglass. My plexiglass is right on top of it. I'm going to sit it down to where I like it, and I think about there is good. Notice that my picture happens to go off, so because of that I'm going to mark on here where the sides of my plexiglass are. I think that looks pretty good. So then, after that, I want to set up some of my ink, and I think I might make this guy pink because he's a betta fish. So I'm going to set up a little bit ink. A little ink goes a pretty far ways. You can always put more ink out, but you can't put it back in. So do not waste our ink. We use my paintbrush and start working on this, trying not to move anything. If you're having trouble, you can always use a piece of tape to adhere to the top or bottom. Take a little bit of this and kind of start painting it on. Kind of following some of my lines. It takes a little bit of time, but that's alright. I'm going to generally get some imagery down. Don't take too long because it will dry out. It does have to be a little bit thicker. I'm going to paint around his eye. I'm going to leave that. I think that looks pretty good so far. I just leave some of this in here. And notice that this looks really flat right now. It's just pretty much flat color. It's not very exciting. So to try to change that and make sure that we have some dimension in here, I might want to use I can use a texture tool and kind of maybe give him a little bit of scales in here. I could also use my paper towel and go back in here and kind of figure out where some of my highlights are. Thinking about those value changes, just like if I was drawing. You can use this for texture as well by blotting. That might come across interesting. You can even come out here. Kind of playing with it almost. So let's get this down. I'm going to just generally get my shape. Trying not to move all of my stuff. I can always get more ink. This takes a little bit of time. Just be patient with it. Let's see. I'm gonna make this pretty thin up here. Alright, make sure you work quickly. If it starts to dry, it's not going to transfer. I like a little messy look, but you can tighten yours up. I'm gonna go back in here. Maybe make some more texture. You can use any kind of things. Bubble wrap works well. You know, there's a lot of options. I like it a little messy. That's just me. Alright, now on to printing this. So I can lift this up. You can see my imagery right there. I like to lay down holding my edges very carefully. Move that Sharpie out of the way. And putting it down carefully. You can kind of see it through there, but massaging this back doesn't work as well. So if you slide, flipping over, you can massage this side and get a lot more of the details. Let's see how this turns out. This is just our first layer. It's a mono print, so one print. One of a kind piece. Now, and I'm going to pull it this way just for future reference. Make a little marks, my registration. So I know exactly where my corners line up. Alright, let's see how it turned out. You notice a lot of my wet areas showed up, but some of the stuff I worked on early on was a little too dry. So if I really want to make sure to get those areas out, I could get some more ink, put it back on top, and use those registration points to make sure it's there.